Let us continue with our lesson. And in the previous lesson, we have reconfigured, we have refactored our sign up view model, and we have make use of a curtain scope over here instead of a view model scope. So when we make use of a curtain scope over here and we are running in a background thread, so we have to take care of the view model. So when your view model gets destroyed, this curtain scope must be destroyed, otherwise it will keep on running. So your view model is already destroyed, but your curtain scope, which is running in the background thread, is still running and performing in tasks. And when it may cause a particular like a memory leakage. So whenever it completes its tasks, and it may come back and try to update some of the values like what we are doing over here, like so the posting the values. So that may cause a problem, and it may cause a memory leak, because if your view model is already destroyed and your curtain scope is trying to access it, so this may cause your memory leakage. So we have to take care of it. So what we can do to overcome over here is we can make use of another override function, which is of onClear. So onClear is called whenever our view model get destroyed. So at that time we can destroy this curtain scope. So how we can destroy it, I can just make use of over here as a private val, and I can just call it as a scope, and this is of a, we can say a curtain scope, and it is of equals to of a curtain scope, and the context I can give as a IO over here. And now I can say that scope, right? So scope over here. So when we call this scope the cancel, what it does was it will cancel this curtain scope that was running previously. So let's say if it was doing some tasks in the background and our view model got destroyed, so it will call this scope that cancel, and it will cancel our curtain scope that's running. That will prevent your application from crashing, or it will also prevent your application from certain memory leakage. So that's a great thing that we have done over here. But if you notice that we have to write a lot of codes, and we also have to write an override to clear all of our scopes that we are previously using, like a scope over here. So another thing over here we can do is, instead of writing all of this code and creating a lot of boilerplate code over here, what we can do is we can make use of a view model scope. So it's a view model scope comes together with the Android X lifecycle dependency. If you go to the Gradle build, and if you check, we are making use of Android X dependency over here. And from the 2.10, there is a direct support for our view model scope. So instead of scope creating a new scope, and we can just say a view model scope, right? So view model scope that launch, and I can just remove this one, and I don't need to clear it, because the view model scope will handle all of this scope that is running, and whenever our view model get destroyed, it will automatically clear all of the tasks that is running on our curtain scope. So you can see this is a curtain scope. The view model scope that launches a curtain scope. If you can notice here, it launches a curtain scope, and it performs all of the tasks. And if you just press a Control and a B and go to this one, you can see that the view model scope, and it's a curtain scope which returns a curtain scope. So this will does everything. You can see it has written, overwritten, and it has cancels everything. So this is the thing that we can make use in our over here. So instead of writing all of these scopes and clearing out and writing a more code, so we can make use of a view model scope which does everything for us, like clearing out and clearing out all of these scopes. So we don't have to worry about it. So we can make use of a view model scope. And if you notice that view model scope that launch, and if we never provide let's say a dispatcher like IO, which will run in the background. But if you never provide this dispatcher.io, then it will run in a particular main thread. when it launch, it will create a different scope in your main thread, and it will create a different scope and process all of this data. But if you are in a different thread, if you are in a main thread, you cannot make use of a post value. That may cause the particular error. So when we make use of post value, we have to make use of an IO thread. So IO is will create a run in the background thread. So when we make use of post value, make sure we set over here the IO, or we run in the IO thread. So if you remove this one, that will be running in a main thread, and when you post a value, it may cause error, or your application may crash because it cannot update using a post value using a main thread. So it's good that we run in a background thread, or else you can remove the post value over here and just assign using a value. So I think that's all for this lesson. We'll continue with our lesson in the next video. Till then, have a great day.